So last week we learned about preterite verbs, and today we're going to learn about 3 endings that have a yo form irregular. So the preterite endings and the regular verbs are aste, o, amos, aron. Remember that the first and the third person have an accent, so anytime you're writing them, you exaggerate and you write those down, exaggerating so that you don't miss them. The way to conjugate a verb is number 1, to drop the AR, and you're left with the root, which in this case is nad. And then you plug in the endings. So yo nadé, tú nadaste, él nadó. So one of the first yo form irregulars that we have is the ones that change from car to que in the yo form only. The rest of the verb is regular. So buscar, we would change it to yo busqué, but then we just drop the AR and it'd be tú buscaste. Tocar, which means to play, like play an instrument, or to take a picture, two meanings there. Yo toqué, él tocó. Sacar, like to take something out of something else. Yo saqué, ellos sacaron. Practicar, that's to practice. So yo practiqué, nosotros practicamos. Another yo form irregular is gar. Gar changes to que. So pagar would change to yo pagué, ella pagó. Jugar would change to jugar would be yo jugué, tú jugaste. Rogar would change to yo rogué, nosotros rogamos. Entregar would change to yo entregué, ustedes entregaron. The third form is zar to se, in the yo form only, of course. So yo empecé, nosotros empezamos. Notice it has a Z there. Cruzar would be yo crucé, ellos cruzaron. Jugar would be yo organicé, ellas organizaron. Almorzar, yo almorcé, tú almorzaste. So we're going to take a minute and conjugate the verbs and all the way through in the preterite, okay? There's a place for you to do this in your notes. So buscar means to look for. And I want you to take a second and conjugate this verb in your notes. So busqué, tú buscaste, él buscó, nosotros buscamos, ellos buscaron. So that'd be I looked for, you looked for, he looked for. You get the idea. Okay, let's try another one that's in your notes. Pagar. Pagar means to pay. So take a second and you do it in your notes. Yo pagué, tú pagaste, él pagó, nosotros pagamos, ellos pagaron. One more. Let's do another one. Almorzar. This is ZAR. So take a second and do it in your notes. Yo almorcé, tú almorzaste, él almorzó, nosotros almorzamos, ellos almorzaron. Okay, we're going to do some examples that are on your notes right here. So I looked for postcards and you looked for earrings. Take a second and you do this. Okay, I looked for the postcards. Yo busqué las tarjetas postales. Just to remind you that the word busqué means I looked for. That word for is included in the definition. Then it says you looked for the earrings. Tú buscaste los aretes. All right, let's do some examples with pagar. I paid for the ring. She paid for the reservation. Take a second and you do this one. Okay, before we go over it, remember that word for is para, okay? So I paid for the ring. So yo pagué para el anillo. She paid for the reservation. Ella pagó para las reservaciones. La reservación. Oops, that should be la. All right, one more. Almorzar. I ate lunch with my brother, and y'all ate lunch with your friends. Remember, to eat lunch is that verb almorzar. So I ate lunch with my brother. Yo almorcé con mi hermano. Then y'all ate lunch with your friends. Ustedes almorzaron con sus amigos. All right, we're going to try this with another activity.